Hello, dear friends of Le Salon de la Musique. It's Francesco Comito here, and tonight we will have our next artist. He's from Russia. He's really, really talented. His name is Mikhail Berestnev, and now we will invite him, and we will have the opportunity to ask him some question. Hello, Mikhail. How are you?
Ciao Francesca, come stai?
Fine, thank you. I'm very happy you are
Here.
here with us, and I'm really happy you're going to play for us. We already know you because we already posted many of your videos on the Southern Music, so our public already knows your talent. But we want to see you performing live. So, how are you? Tell me about how you're living this situation with the COVID-19, this quarantine is influencing your musical life, your studying, or not?
I'm right now in Fort Worth, in Texas, in the United States, in a country that has uh, the most coronavirus cases, as you could see, yeah, from the news, those CNN and other news, ABC, NBC, uh, uh, 1, 2, 3, they all tell about this stuff, and it's quite complicated situation with this country, and likely the place where I'm right now, it's North Texas, it's Fort Worth, it's a great city, and it's quiet here. The business started to open up little by little. First it was 25%, and now it's 50% opening. They're opening business, so people trying to follow these rules of this social distancing. For those who are living for those who are in the States right now, they probably know what I'm talking about. When those rules, you can see in the grocery stores, like social gatherings are they were prohibited. Now it's parks are starting to open up again, and people just do their exercises. As myself, I just was about 1 hour ago, I was
Playing
outside,
football.
was warming up, for our interview, in a proper way. Yeah, and I see people all the time outside. The problem with Texas and with the United States, I'm not joking. I think it's a problem sometimes, that you don't really see much people outside. It's not like being in Europe or in Moscow or in Petersburg, or of course especially countries like China. Yeah, that when you go out and you actually see people, you see their faces. Sometimes you can go to your conservatory, or you can go to work, you can take a train, and it really sometimes you're like you're going on a journey by just seeing people, all different characters, the way they are dressed, the way they look, the way they talk sometimes to each other. But here in the States, you go outside, especially in cities like Dallas and Fort Worth, and Houston, for instance. You go outside, and it's like empty streets, cars and cars and cars and
Yes,
parking.
I remember.
You've been to North Texas, actually, right?
I've been in Denton and in Dallas.
Well,
I've seen so
Denton
many
is
cars.
interesting. Denton is really unique and interesting place. And as one of our dear teachers and mentors, Dr. Thomas Unger, said about Denton one time, that Denton, this is not the end of the world, but this is the place from where you can see the end of the world. So it's actually, you can actually interpret this sentence in different way. I find for myself this interpretation. I think it's quite romantic, to see the end of the world from Denton. So
Uh, you,
sorry.
yeah, I think you should come somewhere here in Italy. I don't say anything, but there are some places here. Go,
Uh,
for example, to the island of Alicudi.
it's
Yes?
actually beautiful outside. For during the working year, during the school's year, we don't really have much of a chance to go outside and just do stuff outside. We always we either busy with going to our work or to university or whatever place is that. We just busy working, 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 and then by the end of the day we just get exhausted and we just drive home again. We just go into our cars. No streets, no pedestrians,
I
no
remember. I
trains.
remember.
We just drive miles and miles. Go some kind to some kind of grocery store, get our daily.
I've been also in Fort Worth, and I remember the downtown was really really nice. Where there are this the cows for the rodeo. It was really really beautiful. So many people walking there. They were going to see these bulls walking in the streets. It
You
was
know,
really
for
something fantastic.
yeah, I came to Texas and to Fort Worth in particular in 2011 in August. The summer was super hot. It was above 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I must tell, it's been almost I guess it's been 8.5 years me being in Texas, or on more or less. So I guess on more regular basis than less. And the downtown has changed dramatically. I must tell. I mean that those during those.
I remember the name is Stockyard.
Stockyard is a like historical part of the town.
This
It's
part, I've been there, to be precise. I've been there in this historical
yeah,
part. It was really nice.
it's kind of like touristic and very historical. There are some museums and there are also some places that represent cowboys culture, Texan culture, and
Amazing.
amazing.
So
And
so much expensive. I've been there. There was some shop for $5,000 one hat. Incredible.
I would say this is their kind of the most known touristic place where people go and buy souvenirs and these Texan boots that are really
Yeah, yeah.
that are great actually.
But
But
very beautiful. Very
yeah,
beautiful.
no, and the restaurants are amazing around there.
Yeah,
They're-
I've been there. Amazing, amazing. The name I don't really remember, but I tried the best brisket of my life. Actually, it was the
Hmm.
first brisket, but it was
I don't know about the place you were talking about, but to me the best brisket in the DFW area was in that restaurant in Deep Ellum. There is a district in Dallas that's called Deep Ellum. It's kind of like a funky and fun part of the town where lots of clubs and bars, and that restaurant in particular. I mean, some people may know from local people may know what the place that I'm talking about, but no, Texas is definitely the place to try out barbecues, and get to know some Tex-Mex cuisine. It's
considering the fact that I'm gonna live next year in Texas, I need to write all this all this restaurant.
well,
We need to talk a little bit about it.
yeah. You see, you really. I hope you will have a good number and list of places that, and I'm sure you will enjoy it. And
For sure, we will go together for sure to drink some beer,
we can
to eat
start good
some
now.
burger
I mean,
with water.
I'm ready.
We have Maestro Vincenzo Lepera here. We say hello to him. We hope to have him here for an interview. Really much, Maestro. If you are listening to us, we want you here for an interview. So be ready. Okay. Mikhail, I want to ask you something about mm, your program that you're going to play for us. What you're going to play for us?
The program is quite diverse. It starts with sonata by Joseph Haydn in D major. He wrote several sonatas in D major. This
Amazing.
particular one, it's number 33, if I'm not mistaken. It depends on the catalog. Also, they may vary, but it's in three movement sonata. The first movement is kind of. I would say it's a standard allegro.
Yeah.
It's a sonata form. It's that typical sonata form structure. with exposition, development, and recapitulation, and all that. I love this movement. I very much love it. But the other two are my favorite. I would say. I just they're kind of very dear to me. I don't know, that adagio in D minor is so special. It is so wonderful. You know, it's actually like Italian aria. Believe it or not. It's like an aria, and the piece concludes by the movement that's titled as tempo di minuetto. So it's minuetto, kind of like theme with variations. Sometimes going from a major key to a minor key, D major, D minor, D major, D minor, and but it's like a theme with variations, with lots of different ornaments, nice, you know, harmonic. Sometimes harmony can be really something in Haydn. I'm sure you.
Yes, it's really full of light, full of sun.
Absolutely. So that's the piece. I mean, light and sunshine, and you know, there will be a little preview of this program when where I'm going to be talking a little bit about how I'm feeling about this music. And Haydn has been always, you know, in my heart. I would say he was one of my favorites, very much composers. The composer who invented the piano trio, father of the string quartet. What can you say else? The father of the symphony.
The father of classical music.
Yes, our great father.
One second, we have here Dr. Covelli. He is one of the greatest art critic of contemporary art. I hope also to have him here in the Salon de la Musique to talk about also contemporary art. Would be really fantastic. He's writing here. Only him? Would you invite only Maestro Lepera to to have an interview? Of course not. Also, Dr. Covelli will be amazing. So let's continue.
We would like very much.
I hope to have all of you here to have a live chat here in Le Salon de la Musique. Le Salon de la Musique is a place for, you know, everyone likes the beauty of classical music, the beauty of arts. This is, you know, something amazing that many we are receiving so many requests of participating in our project, so many new friends, so many new ideas. This is amazing. We are growing up so fast, and this is thanks to you guys that are playing in the Salon de la Musique, thanks to all supporters. This is the most important thing, thanks to our supporter. Okay, Mikhail, so let's continue to talk about the program you're going to play.
Yes, the program after Haydn, there will be a piece by a Russian composer Nikolai Metner. Nikolai Metner, quite an interesting figure in Russian piano history. I mean, music history, or how should I say that? He was the brilliant pianist himself. I was listening some of his recordings of his music yesterday, just in order, you know, to get more and deeper into the original, you know, because sometimes, I mean, we tend to interpret music in our way, and with time, the borders, the frame may go a little bit here and there, but it's important to always have that quality and the idea of the style. And likely with Heaven Metner's recordings, we're able to hear his works with the score and kind of, you know, trying to go
understand
that. Yeah, as likely we have recordings of Rachmaninoff, or not much by Prokofiev, unfortunately, but at least that fabulous recording of his third piano concerto gives us a good idea of what kind of caliber of pianist he was. It's always fascinating to hear composers themselves playing their music. So fascinating.
And what are you going to play? You're going to play a sonata by Mettner, or
No, it's a piece that's called First Improvisation. Again, it's sort of theme with variations. Mettner experiments with different. In this piece, he experiments a lot with the texture, with the different rhythmical changes, and it's quite a virtuoso piece, I must tell, and it's such a joy to play. It was a joy for me to play and to learn. I have not played it much in concerts. I played it one time, or maybe twice, while I was a student at Meadow School of Arts in Dallas.
Mhm.
I've learned that piece, and it's so strange actually that I didn't happen to learn the piece in Russia with my professor Vladimir Trop, who is specifically known for the Russian music repertoire, specifically for Medner, Rachmaninoff, Scriabin, Tchaikovsky. It just happened that way that I was captured by this music. I was inspired by the idea of learning this piece. You know.
and and when you understood actually that you said I want to be a pianist,
Oh, it's interesting. It's different. It's already kind of different. You
because but the emotion is the same. When when you feel some emotion, it's
yeah.
like something that is going through your back. Something like this.
Francesca, I would say music has been a great part of my life for more than 20 years. I would
Mhm.
say maybe 25. This is something that definitely kept me out of trouble. I'm
Mhm.
not saying. I mean, I was raised in a fine. I would say in a very good environment in
Mhm.
the southern part of Russia. The the people that were around me, their levels of education, their knowledge, and the level of their communication, I would say, was very diverse. There were people that I was very much connected into, and there were just places and some part of the societies that I was not really much involved into, and I was somewhere in between, you know,
Mhm.
uh, either one thing or another maybe. And at a certain time of my life, when I was maybe 9, almost maybe 10 years old, uh, my parents, um, I already played piano for several years, maybe 5 years or so, and they just made a choice to transfer me to that famous teacher whose name is Irina Grебyankina, and she is one of the very best piano teachers in the southern region where I was born and raised. Likely, I was able to get into her studio. She accepted me with no problem. There was no audition. She already heard me somewhere in some kind of exams or concert, school's concert, and we just started from the very beginning. But the beginning was very demanding. She gave me to learn many etudes during the summer. I had to learn lots of etudes by Czerny and of course Clementi. And the first polyphonic, the series polyphonic piece was made with her. This is actually the prelude and fugue that I played at many competitions, including Sydney, maybe, and Tchaikovsky, and Brussels, I think. So that was the start, and that was the start that was given from her. And she was very demanding. She is very demanding
Mhm.
teacher, and that what maybe made for me such a difference that I could already see. Okay, if I'm doing this, uh, there is one way or the other. Either I'm doing this like fully 100%, or I'm not wasting my time or her time because it's not worth it, you know. So
Yeah.
I decided to go with the first way. As I said, I decided to go with the music because I saw people that were very supportive to me. Like, first of all, my parents, and she was very much in that support, and my other relatives, and likely, you know, the school of music was very friendly to me. People, my mom worked there. There was a time when my dad was a teacher, a cello teacher there. So our family was known that it was musical family. So it was, for me, it felt natural to grow
Hmm.
up in that environment. And of course, you know, I spent with Irina Grебyankina 4 years, and year after the year, by the time when I was approaching to my graduation and such, and we were starting to think about the possibility going into professional college, um, I was realizing that profession, this of being a musician, is really hard. Year after the year, I was realizing that the level, while my level is going up, the expectations are bigger. You know,
More talent you have,
the
more
more
work you have
expectations,
to
the
do.
more work you have to put into, and this is just daily work. You just have to accept for yourself, if you want to concertize, if you want to do a career of any kind, you have to put yourself into 100% to that. That would be my I don't know. That would be my answer.
And what
Sorry,
about, so
sorry,
you,
I made it long. I made it long, but it's important. Also, I thought that's an important part.
no, this is really important because also we talk to young people here, and there
Yeah,
are many students that are listening to us, and this is really important that an artist of your level will encourage them to put all themselves into their passion, because in this world is really competitive. This is something that I don't like at all. In fact, also Le Salon de la Musique is encouraging musicians to find their place in this world, to find their, let's call in a bad way, their market. I mean, everybody is unique. You cannot put on the same level one elephant, one lion, one hippo, or one dog. They are unique, all of them. They have their quality. They can run faster than the other. One is stronger. One is, one can fly.
and
So
and that's the beauty about the art and the music in general. That actually the goal for the art and for performing arts is to be able to bring the individuality.
yeah,
Of course, based on the ability to play with the good clarity, with the good sound, to
yeah,
play freely, to produce a good sound, to be able to communicate with the
yeah.
audience, right?
This is the most important thing.
But yes, but also always, I mean, it's really important. Do not to be afraid to have your signature, your own style of playing, and because I strongly believe that every person has a talent, and every person has the ability to grow into something that valuable, you know, in this
Yeah,
world. And as you said, the world is competitive, but it's not only the competition inside of arts,
of
music.
course, of course.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And people just, uh, I think in general, people are doing great in terms of the way they do their work. Uh, when you are not really into something, and you probably think you are not doing super well, you know, take your time, hold it back, and start over. That would be my, I guess.
I, Mikhail,
Yes,
We said that you are going to play Haydn's and Megner.
Medner. Yeah.
What you're going to play more?
Uh, After Medner, there is another sonata by Bela Bartok, Hungarian
Mm.
composer.
Really, really, really difficult piece, this one.
Very complex piece. I'm not such a how should I say expert in the music of Bartok yet. I said yet,
But you
but
started to.
I think I'm getting a little bit better in that. But I so far I just played very few works by Bartok. I played his first Rhapsody for violin and piano. It's actually this is incredible piece of music. Then I played this sonata. I've learned that sonata. That was 5 years ago, maybe first time I've learned it, and I tried it out a couple of times on a couple compositions, or maybe once. I don't remember for sure. I played in some concerts, but and it was not my long term piece that I was playing much outside. So I played Romanian dances as well, those famous dances that are transcribed for violin, piano solo piece, and also I played them in a actually quite interesting arrangement
Mhm.
for the piano solo and chamber orchestra. So that was already some kind of transition to me from playing solo Bartok or chamber music Bartok into Bartok's orchestral sound. More
Mm.
orchestral. I played that those pieces with chamber orchestra. Uh, and that was quite interesting, to get to learn those pieces and kind of to get to understand the images besides those pieces, because these are not just notes, of course, right, or harmonies or chords, or progression of melody and harmony. Bartok's music is very much, I mean, it's so
Original. It's really.
original, Hungarian, and beyond, especially beyond, because recently I was watching some movie about Bartok and his life, and especially once he started to explore different kinds of rhythms and harmonies outside of his country. And I was so fascinated and surprised that so many things were discovered by Bartok at countries, at places like Tatarstan, for example,
Mhm.
Kazakhstan. He went to this Middle East area. It's all you really. Last time I played this piece was actually a few days ago. That was for the very private gathering in the house concert setting. There were 4 people in the audience, and I caught to myself while I was playing this piece that there is constantly going on some kind of noise. It's like a
Yeah.
gathering here, and there are crowds, little villages with their native instruments, some kind of guitar, sitar,
Mhm.
some kind of violin made up of something, some kind of rhythmical changes, choir also, lots of speaking, you know. There's a tendency of saying that rap music, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
hip hop is like a folk music of the past. It's something
Amazing.
modern music of the past, like
Yes.
folk.
Yes.
When people get together and they say these rhymes to each other,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Like
they
a battle rapper.
yeah, it's like a battle, exactly. So they with these rhymes, and it's what's happening right now around the world. In Russia, it was very popular a couple of years ago, I guess, or maybe a year ago. People were crazy about those verses, battles. I found so many, there. It's just something that you have to explore with this piece,
So,
especially.
but you just started to, I mean, understood to discover the music of Bartok.
I started my first try was in 2012. I
Mhm.
already came to the US. I was a student at
Ah,
TCU. By the way,
support work.
studying with a professor that came originally from Budapest.
Maestro Tamashungar. Yeah.
His name, yes. And I thought, okay, this is my chance to study Bartok with this man because, you know,
He's a great teacher.
yes, I mean he's amazing teacher, but specifically he studied with this great Hungarian names, you know, big names of Budapest Academy of Music, named after Franz Liszt, and he taught there, and he had seen he has seen those, you know, different parts of Hungary, not just Budapest, in wonderful city, but also villages, suburbs. He knows the culture, so it was such a great. I thought it's such a great chance. And first, I studied with him this piece for violin and piano, uh, and then that was a sonata because I thought, okay, most of his students they studied this sonata with him, and it was so fascinating. And then I played. We worked on this piece throughout the whole year, and I played it a few times outside of the U.S. I played it in Dublin actually first at the Dublin competition, and then I was invited by St. Petersburg Music House to have a recital at St. Petersburg, so I played it there again. Uh, I must tell that the reaction was quite good, and the artistic director said even specifically that he enjoyed the Bartok part. So that told to me could tell me that I probably was you know, having studied with Thomas Unger together, we put together a good work on Bartok, and he was able not only to direct me with, you know, things that were indicated in the score, but he was able also to tell me some kind of images of Hungary, telling me, okay, this is this instrument or that instrument. You know, you should think about this orchestra or that kind of sound or that kind of image or that intonation. You know, that. Anyway, recently, I think I found finally I was able to find a perfect example. You know, sometimes we pianists we tend to find some other words aside to be able just to get a better image of the music because piano is such a complex instrument.
Always we try to imitate the, for
We
example,
have,
human voice, some different instrument. Yeah.
we have to, especially with a music like Bartok. It's a different type of music and energy and sound. It's dissonant. It's very complex. It's very complex. You know, you just have to be as precise as you can with the way you produce the sound, with the way you phrase, with anything you do. You have to be direct as possible, the clear as possible. Then the audience captures it. So finally, I actually for this particular sonata, I was able to find a perfect match from their orchestral repertoire. This is the music from his from the ballet, the music for the ballet that he wrote, and it's called Miraculous Mandarin. And there is also, as you can imagine, you know, the composers like Prokofiev, they took the juice from their version for the orchestral suite. That's what happened to Romeo and Juliet and Cinderella and many others. I cannot. And Stravinsky, of course. Yeah, we can think of. So that what happened to Bartok as well. He did this orchestral suite of Miraculous Mandarin, and that's, in my opinion, is a perfect example to the way how his piano sonata should sound. I think I finally found the right sound. You know, found because it was also written about it at the same time.
I'm so curious to listen to you playing this Sunday. You know, I'm so curious. I said I'm so curious to listen to you playing this Sunday. You know,
actually, me too. I'm very much curious to play this to present this piece. You know, because it's a complicated music for me. You know, Rachmaninoff or even Prokofiev and even Stravinsky, I would say these composers they a little more clear to me, their style and their language than Bartok. With Bartok it's always so demanding. It's always, it's a challenge.
Yeah, I
Uh,
like very much concerti.
yeah, as a friend of mine said, listening me playing this piece the other days, he said, "This is the beast. It's a beast," and I agree, it's a beast. It's a beast in a miniature. It's not that kind of Liszt sonata beast. It's a little different frame. What's called neoclassical style, I guess, if I can say it this way about this piece.
And Mikhail, I want to ask you a question. You were saying about your experience with that you were studying in Russia after you came to America, and you studied with Maestro Tamashunga. Also, you studied with Maestro Chukaro,
Yes,
correct?
exactly.
Uh, can you tell me something about the differences between your experience in Russia and in America?
Uh,
Which is the difference, if there is one difference, also in the teaching methods or atmospheres in the school?
mm, well, I would say everything is again with performing arts, with playing piano and doing music in general. It's work in progress. You see, the moment when I came to Moscow to study at the Gnesin College of Music, and later on I continued at the Academy, Russian Academy of Music. I came after being a student at the local school in the southern region. I came at one level, yeah.
Mhm.
My age, the size of my hand, what else? My experience, my ears were settled in a specific way that probably I cannot tell which exactly right now because it was a while ago. Some of the preferences are still the same, but many things have changed. Then later on, I approached to the academy, and I was lucky throughout all those 9 years. I was very lucky by having next to me such wonderful people and professors and musicians and teachers. So I was, to me, it was so natural to be in that environment of Gnesens specifically, because I never studied in the Moscow Conservatory. I was a student, again, as I said, in the college and
Yeah.
then in Russian Academy of Music. And that environment felt to me, I felt at home.
Mhm.
And later on, when I started to approach to my graduation, I just, thought that, okay, probably, sometimes you have to change something that will lead you into a different, I mean, towards the different, another challenges. And
Yeah.
I wanted to go abroad, not because I wanted specifically, to leave my country because I was upset or something like that. Something was happening. No, I was happy actually, and the more I stayed in the Gnesens environment, the happier I was. But I thought, okay, but then apparently there should be some kind of moment for me to still, bring myself to another level somehow.
Uh, how many years you are in United States?
8.5, maybe almost 9, I would say, years.
So, and do you think something is changed inside yourself? I mean, also
Yeah,
as a musician.
definitely. You know what I was missing sometimes in Moscow. I mean, when I not let me say it this way. When I came to the U.S., the first thing that impressed me so much was the accessibility of the events that I could attend. I was able to hear pianists of the first, or musicians of the first category, conductors, orchestras, soloists, playing in a large concert halls or in a smaller gathering like chamber concerts, recital. holes. There was always environment was amazing. I'm talking about specifically about the university environment, and this is
Yeah.
maybe for someone to also to consider. You know, the environment is amazing because you get an access to a very good piano almost for 24 hours.
I've seen it.
You know,
Yes.
something that I was attracted so much. Okay, I have ability to practice on a good piano in a good room, so I can really. Then I can try those things on stage while things are being recorded. Then I can listen them back in a very good quality. I can work with my professor on regular basis. At least once a week, twice a week, I would say mostly. I was able to work a lot and to build some of the important repertoire, and that what led me into some important and big competitions. I would say this way. So that I must tell that university years here were extremely productive by having the ability to practice, to absorb the information from various of sources, to meet people, to have good advisors, very professional master classes advices, and the ability to perform.
So,
That's what
but
makes me also even more assured about the way of life I'm living, of being musician. If we can some kind of
you
compare.
know, I was thinking about many Russian musicians. For example, Rachmaninoff. He went to United States, but always he felt, that something is there is a need of Russia. And what about your feelings?
You mean what is Russia to me?
Yes, especially the musical aspect.
People.
There's,
People. And this is something that we are talking about with our friends, from time to time, that come all over from Russia, how they feel, how I feel, what do we miss. Yes, we may miss sometimes some kind of certain type of food. We can miss sometimes certain way of clothes. I don't know what else. But what cannot be replaced, people. Of course, first of all, your family.
yes, people is a very strong,
And, I still
and-
have a huge appreciation to all of my teachers, and to many musicians that I have met during my years, during my studying years, before Moscow, during Moscow, and of course after Moscow. While in Dallas, likely I was able to meet very really great people, really great musicians. So it's hard to tell. In a certain period of life, I guess you meet someone at certain time, and it's how can I
because
say?
I even though I'm
We
Russian,
tend to say it's random, but it's random in a specific way that applies to you in a certain time, in a certain period of time, that makes you feel alive and live, further.
but even though I'm not Russian, I've been in Moscow many times, and also I've been in Rostov na
Beautiful,
Don.
beautiful.
I played there in Philharmonia, and I remember
Rostov,
the
on Don Philharmonic Orchestra was very first orchestra that I played with. I was soloist with. I was
the
11
first one.
years old. That was. I'm sorry for interrupting your
No, 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 no.
experience. But
It's
I was 12 years old. That was during the finals of the national competition. That is very special to me. It's called Inspiration. It takes place in Volgodonsk city, that near Rostov on Don, and that was the time where I have had met my first professor that I studied with at the Gnesin Academy of Music, whose name is Alexei Skavronsky. He was a jury chairman, and that was the moment probably when me and my teacher, we started to consider the fact that I may go to a professional level, like studying in Moscow, and then I ended up also studying with him, with Skavronsky himself, together for several years before he passed away. Unfortunately, he was very dear to all of us, to all of our students and colleagues and friends. Such an inspirational man. But I'm sorry, Rostov-on-Don, again, it's a beautiful orchestra. It was conducted by majestic conductor from St. Petersburg, guest conductor Ravil Martynov, his name. Phenomenal musician. You know, the time when I sat on that stage, surrounded by musicians of that Philharmonic Orchestra, and when they started to play the introduction, the first tutti of the Mozart Concerto in A major, I thought I'm either in heaven, or this is a miracle, or it's some kind of fairy tale, or it's some. The time just stopped for me at that time, at that moment. The sound, especially, you know, what I enjoyed the most, and that was sublime. Those melodies, see, those melodies of the piano that Mozart put into, yeah, the concerto, along with the string melody, that what made me feel so special about playing with orchestra and playing. You know, you probably know that I play often. I like to play often chamber music, or I am a member of a trio make that is like Dallas-based trio. Anyway, that probably was the moment that captured me in a specific way. Not playing solo, actually, because I mean, playing solo, yes, I could feel the energy that I'm producing. I could feel that people sometimes are following my music, yeah, the way I put myself into this. But playing with that chamber orchestra, that moment was, I guess, that was a universe.
Very strong emotion.
Very
Really.
strong. The strongest emotion of that time of the school's period, that's for sure. And specifically with Mozart concertos, that was the moment I found, oh gosh, this is the best music that was ever written in life. You know, that's heavenly music. Very
No,
with this orchestra. It was very good playing from these people, and from I don't know who is their conductor, primary conductor these days, but that was the conductor again, as I said, guest conductor specifically for that competition that went every year, annually each summer. Ravil Martynov, such an incredible musician. I think he was the main conductor for St. Petersburg Chamber Orchestra or something, you know, some kind of famous and great quality orchestra. Anyway, that was sublime, as I said.
we have here a question for you from Anna Burkina. She's writing here.
Yeah,
I can read here some Russian too, but it's better if you read it.
she's asking, yeah, she writes in Russian, if playing on that competition in final was my first time playing with orchestra. Yes, the answer is yes. That was my first time playing with orchestra. I had no idea what is that like. We as you, Anya, also you were probably in the same situation by having 10-minute rehearsal with the orchestra, and next time you were already performing your piece.
She
So
played this year first concerto by Rachmaninoff in Philharmonic Rostov on Don. It was an amazing concert. I remember we've been together. We played Rostov also together. I remember that I was saying that even though I'm not Russian, I consider the fact that now because of this COVID. this coronavirus, I cannot go to Russia to actually study there, and this is I'm feeling really bad, because there is something that you cannot find anywhere. Some walking through Moscow, looking to the houses, feeling the smell of the food, Russian food that is so good,
Yes, and you know,
Tchaikovsky, the conservatory, walking, it's amazing, and I'm missing very much Russia, even though I'm not Russian.
no, it's
That's
a
why I was asking you.
it's a great part of my life, and it's a great part of many musicians' life. It's a big country that had has uh, has been having the one of the greatest traditions of classical music and the art in general. It's there. There are many people that are very dear to me, and I'm very grateful. In fact, I yesterday I sent some of my recordings to my professor Vladimir Trop, asking for some of his advice or maybe opinion, and he gave me some interesting ideas, of course, as always. And it's been, as I said, almost 9 years, but the moment when he answered to me, it felt like I just had a lesson with him just a couple hours ago or something, or half an hour ago, because mm, it's still the same. It's still the same feeling of appreciation each other, um, love, passion to music, and Russian people are extremely passionate to the to life. Very emotional and deep. And
Yeah,
uh, but you know, likely, as I said, I was here. I'm not feeling lonely
this is the most
right
important
now,
thing,
right now talking with you about music, and even with the again with the social distance and limitation that we uh, has gone into, right, and we're right now into this reduced life, I would say. I don't know.
yeah.
No, I think also it brings some kind of benefits to the society. People start to appreciate the fact that they actually can spend more time with their families, with their kids, with their parents. They can spend more time also at home, cooking, or reading,
Yeah.
watching movies, because oftentimes, and I'm sure it's all around the world, we're so focused on our jobs and our work and a daily routine. It's just some kind of
Forgetting about our life. This is the
yeah. I don't know. I just want to wish to everyone, stay healthy and to stay in the environment that will prevent you from getting into a trouble of any kind. I just want to tell to everyone that take care of yourself and take care of your loved ones, and especially to those that are next to you and dear to you. Uh, and just try to live every day uh, by using each
yeah.
minute and just fulfill it with something that is meaningful to you.
This
And,
is really important what
and,
you
and,
say.
and of course, take it easy. Take it easy as well. Try to breathe.
Mikhail,
Try to have a
you
good health.
what you said is really really important, because nowadays we need some uh, we need also the support from musicians, from artists, to because sometimes people they can feel depressed because of this uh,
Yeah,
terrible situation, hoping
exactly.
that everything will be
Around.
fine very soon, and hopefully we will come back to play again in concert hall.
Yeah.
And but For now, there is some sound here. I don't know what is my computer. Okay.
There is a railroad
Ah,
nearby my apartment where I'm living.
there's a train. Okay, I thought it's my computer. Something.
While you're talking about these difficulties, that train tells that listen carefully. That's the important part. And actually, I was gonna bring this up also, the importance of supporters and donors and sponsors that invest not only finances but also invest their passion to the
Yeah,
art.
this is really
I
important.
remember. I hope I will not be judged or by anyone that I'm going to take a quote from a little video that I saw last year that was made by the concertmaster of a wonderful Dallas Symphony Orchestra. His name is Alex Carr, and that was he's fantastic, phenomenal violinist. And there was the sentence. There was a video that was as it was made uh, as an appreciation to the sponsors of the orchestra and people that support the symphony. And he said this thing that stuck into my mind. I thought it was, it was so simple, but it was so direct and it was so true. Uh, he said about, being a musician, and music is our life, and what we're lived for, and the supporters and donors and people that help around is how we live. To be able to bring a certain quality of at any kind of performing art field, yeah, you have to have a environment, yeah, you have to have a good instrument, you have to have a ability to practice, or sometimes you need to take a lesson with someone, or you need to buy, new concert outfit or whatever, and many different circumstances that apply in a musician's everyday's life. We just have to take care of ourselves in order just to be able to do our work in a good way, in a way that is presentable, and that's what make this importance when the donors put their passion and love and their support into performing arts.
This is really important because also many
Our life
composers.
different, not different, I mean, yeah, it can make a difference to us by
In
much.
fact, many composers they made the history of many musician artists. They made the history. They had their supporter,
Of
their
course,
patrons.
like Haydn, that I'm going to be playing, he was very much under Esterhazy family. That's what allowed him to do what he did, and now
Of
what we
course,
can say these days. I don't know how much the level of happiness of Haydn, how happy he was by taking care of Esterhazy, but I guess he was very much happy for the ability that was provided by this family to be able to work.
yeah.
And I want to say thank many thanks to many people that support me in my career. Luckily, I was again lucky, and I was able to meet these people. Sometimes these people that not related to professional performing art, music
Mhm.
uh, kind of thing. Sometimes they come from a different profession. They just have a
But
desire for music. Sometimes they are professionals that also, support each other
yes, this
because
is the most. It's really important. When there are some musician also they believe in what younger musician they do. This is so important because gives the strength to go and do
I mean,
our best. Also,
artists, musicians, and artists of a different kind of caliber. They go through different uh, levels of life, I would say, or different circumstances throughout their life, and people that are experienced already and mature. I'm sure they had seen things like this that we're experiencing right now. For them, it's of course it's annoying. It's annoying for many people, including big names, big artists. For it's annoying for everyone. But we just have to be strong, and I'm sure we will go through this crisis,
and
and uh, we already start little by little. I already
yes,
did a little, as I said, I already played small concert.
this
Um,
is you see the fact that we have the opportunity to play also online. This is fantastic because in another
exactly.
period we will not have even this opportunity. So we have to consider us lucky if we have the opportunity to have the
Yeah, it,
internet.
yes, the internet and these sources they definitely allow. Actually, sometimes the response and the audience that gets to the concert can be larger than just local concert hall. So
Yes,
that's
of course.
its advantage in a way. Of course, everyone is missing. I mean, at least around here, and I'm sure in each country, everyone is missing live performances.
Performance.
And people were so excited at that concert that I played. I was so excited as well. I was so happy I was able to share with them what I shared. It was so refreshing. And at the same time, I think we just put on hold somehow. We just put on hold by some kind of purpose of the universe. The universe tells us, relax, probably. This is the moment for you. You have to concentrate your mind in that specific way that I'm sure it will allow us to it just gives us some kind of recharge.
Mhm.
That's my idea of this.
I think we will continue, doing well what we are doing now with the Salon de la Musique, supporting young and talented musicians, and also giving them the opportunity to play, to perform, to continue to perform, because we don't know when we will come back to play on stage, and
Exactly.
also the most important thing is that we can also make money with La Salon de la Musique. It's possible that the musicians they can actually make money playing piano, something that is not now possible
Well,
playing
it's something
on stage.
that is considered for us musicians our work. We sometimes have to step up as in a different ways. We sometimes play different repertoire that is more sophisticated for a different public. It may vary. Sometimes it's more entertainment, but the kind of thing. But this is our primary work. That's what we are doing. That's what we have a passion for, and I hope that we deliver it from time to time.
Mikhail, thank you very much. I hope that we will come back soon to play to perform in a concert hall. But I'm really excited to listen your online recital. I want to thank you and all our subscribers that are always here, listen to our live chat. And also, I want to remind you the concert of Mikhail that will be this Sunday, 28th of June, 8 p.m. Italian time. And I want to also remind a really important event. Tomorrow is going to play for the Salon de la Musique Natalia Trull. So we're waiting for you tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock Italian time. And let's say hello Antonia. She's here. She's Antonia Comito, my sister. She played an amazing concert. She played Rachmaninoff sonatas and preludes and Etude Tableau was really amazing. Thank you very much, Antonia, to be here. Thanks to our Alex, it's always us with us. And thanks to all of you, and see you tomorrow for the concert of Natalia Trull. And we are waiting Sunday to attend the concert of Mikhail. If you want to, you can make a donation. This is really important to donate, and there is the link in the description. Also, there is the link of the event where you can find all the information about Mikhail. There is his CV, and also the program is going to play. If you don't remember what we said before. And if you have any question about the event, please send a message directly to the Salon de la Musique, and a member of our team will answer you as soon as possible, considering the fact we receive, fortunately, many messages every day. So thank you very much, Mikhail. Thank you very much to all of you.
Thank you, Francesco, and would like to thank everyone who stayed tuned for this interview and chat. It's a pleasure. Love you guys, and hope we'll see you soon. Thank you for all.
Thank you very much, Mikhail. Bye bye.
Bye bye.